everybody. So I know it's kind of late on a Sunday night, but this was the first opportunity I had to go live today. And so as many of you know, I'm doing a 30-day one live video a day challenge to kind of push out of my comfort zone and hopefully share something valuable with you all. So one of the things that I'm encouraged to do with my, as a coach, one of the things that we're encouraged to do is personal development. So that's one of my favorite things, is that it's not just business, it's not just, XYZ. It's like really encouraging us to invest in ourselves. So, it's hard as a mom because I used to be a reader. My mom laughs because she would lose me in the grocery store when I was just a little kid. Terrifying, right? But I was always in the book aisle. I was always reading. High school, I always had a book. I just always was reading a book. But as I got into momhood and wifehood, I suddenly kind of fell off that bandwagon. I stopped reading as much. I just didn't invest any time there. So my business encourages me to do that. And one of the books I've been reading, and I shared a quote earlier today, it's from The Magic of Thinking Big. I always want to say big thinking, but it's The Magic of Thinking Big. Hey everybody. Hi Becky. Hi Amy. Hi Sandy. And so I shared this quote earlier. Disbelief is negative power. When the mind disbelieves or doubts, the mind attracts reasons to support the disbelief. Doubt, disbelief, the subconscious will to fail, the not really wanting to succeed is responsible for most failures. Think doubt and fail. Think victory and succeed. Where the mind goes, life follows, right? And I have found this really relevant for me because, as many of you know who followed me for any length of time, I am a worrier. I struggle with anxiety, big time. If the most random thing that you could think would happen and that you're like, oh my gosh, that could never happen, I will think it. I always think through everything. And I tell myself that it's because if I think it, then it won't come true, right? Because I've thought it through and I've looked at all the angles and I've come up with the perfect plan. What I'm really doing is just what that thinking really does for me is just invites negativity. It invites bad things. It puts power into the negative, and then that's what my brain thinks about. So although for me, I like to be well, I'm just a planner, I'm just planning ahead, I think I'm actually doing myself a disservice when I focus too much on that. When I focus too much on planning ahead, when I worry about all the things, keep myself up at night, it causes me to lack sleep. It causes me panic attacks and just some serious anxiety issues. Exercise helps some of that, but so does journaling and things like reading this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. So that chapter that I read really stuck with me because it was it's not just so much, it really is about where your mind goes, then that's where life will follow. And so, I could spend my days sitting around thinking about, trying to plan for all the things that could happen. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't ever think things through, right? That we shouldn't ever try to plan. But at the same time, it's really important to be look and say, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my career to be? What do I want my marriage to look like? What kind of mom do I want to be? What kind of friend do I want to be? What do I want my relationships to look like? And it's important to look at those and then think about how that, envision that in your head. How do you want that to look? And then go forward with that. Right? And not to think about, it's easy. I think especially, I'm not trying to leave out the dudes here, but, obviously as a mom, I can relate to moms, right? But, the mom guilt, I'm not the kind of mom I want to be. I'm not as fun as I want to be. I'm not as, carefree as I want to be. I struggle with getting down and playing. Hi, Melissa. And so I could sit and think about all the time, like how I'm not the things I want to be. I can think about how I'm not doing the things I want, that I'm, not the best wife, that I'm not the best mom, that maybe I am not, as motivated as I'd like to be. My house is a wreck. And I could sit and say, I'm a horrible housekeeper. And I do say that. And it's not that I'm the world's best housekeeper, but I think we have to change that speaking. We have to change the sentence. We have to change the way that looks for us. So when I say I'm not as fun of a mom as I want to be, instead I can say, I'm a really great mom at like getting stuff done, and I want to be a little more carefree and fun. And so I'm going to make an effort to spend more time playing board games with my kid and getting outside and kicking a ball. So instead of being like, I don't do this and I'm not great at that, I'm changing that thinking into, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to be. Here's what I'm good at. You always have to also, I think, include like what you're good at, right? Because if you sit around and think about all the things you suck at, you could probably come up with like a mountainous list, right? I know that I could. I mean, I could sit and come up with a lot of things. But I think if I asked my friends and my family and the people who loved me to come up with a list of things about me, that list would probably be pretty short. Mostly probably because they love me. But I think it's because we are so much harder on ourselves than we are on other people, right? And so maybe we need to be a little more positive with ourselves, a little more forward thinking with ourselves. The power of positive thinking, it's all about focusing on what you want it to look like and then believing that it's possible. We could sit around and say like, well, good things just never happen to me, or, I just never can have anything I want, or, it's just too hard to have this or that. And we could sit around and focus on all of those negatives, or we can say, this is what I really want, and I believe that it's possible for me, and I believe that I deserve this, and I'm going to do it. Maybe it's a fitness goal and you're like, I really want to feel comfortable. This is my favorite pair of jeans and I just can't fit in them anymore and I really love them. So I believe that if I really focus on myself and I invest in my health, that I can get back into these jeans, in a month, 2 months, whatever. And this isn't just like, I'm not coming to you all just to talk to you about health and fitness or coaching or anything like that. Totally, that's not it. Maybe it's that, I have to struggle with my house and my organization. I'm just, I just really have a struggle there. But instead of believing in the struggle, I need to believe this is how I want my house to look. I want my house to be organized. I want to have only the things in it that we really need or that we love, that bring us joy. I don't want to put things in, I don't want to keep all this extra clutter around. So I believe that I can have that house. This is exactly what I want it to look like. And I believe that that's possible if I just, make a list and I tackle it one thing at a time. I believe that it's possible that I can overcome that and that I can have the organized house that I want. It may not always be clean, and I'm okay with that. It may not always be perfect. There may be a little bit of clutter here and there, but I believe that I can have that home, that I can make it what I want it to be. Maybe it's in your career. Maybe, there's a job that you want, and you've been telling yourself that, I'm not so sure I'd be good at that, or I don't know if I really want to do it. I'm just not so sure, that seems like a lot of work. So you need to sit down and be like, do I really want to do that? Is that really what I want? And then if it is, believe that it's something that's possible for you. Why not you? If you really want it and it's something that fits within your skill set or is a dream job for you, why not you? Why not you versus somebody else, right? So by thinking positive, I know here's the thing, the power of positive thinking is that we attract things. When we think positively, we attract positive. When we think negative, we attract negative. Have you ever noticed when you're like in a really bad mood that you attract a lot of negative people to you? Like, I know when I'm in a really bad mood, all of a sudden it seems like everyone around me is in a really bad mood, and then we're all just in a really bad mood together. But when I decide that I'm going to be upbeat and positive and really put that positive spin on my life, I start to see the positivity around me, because we start to see what we're believing. So that's it. That's, short and sweet. I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about that, because as I've been going through this, depression and anxiety has been a struggle for me most of my life. It's been really hard the past month. And so I've really been trying to read things and journal and do a lot of thinking about, what I can do to change it. Instead of feeling like I'm powerless over it, instead of feeling like I have no, there's no way for me to change it, I'm flipping the script on that, and I'm saying it's up to me to change it, because if I don't change it, who's going to, right? So I am making a list of the things that I want, and I'm believing them, and I am repeating them to myself every day. I have some of them written up on my wall, the things that I want, and I believe by saying them to myself, those positive affirmations, those daily affirmations of these are the things that I want, these are the things that I am, these are the things that I deserve, that I'm going to attract those things to myself. Not just because like I say I want this and the universe just throws it at me, right? No, but because by believing it and saying that I want those things in my life, it then flips that switch in my brain that then does the work to get those things, right? It's not about luck. It's about going and working for the things that I want. And by believing that they're possible, then my brain and my body go into overdrive and obtain them. And then you look up and you have the life that you were dreaming of, because you believed it to be possible and you did the work to get yourself there. So I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday night. I would love to hear your thoughts on the things that I've shared, on how you put the power of positivity into action in your life. Again, that book is called The Magic of Thinking Big, and I can't remember the author's name, but I can post it below. So if you're interested in a really good read, that is one. I'm actually listening to it on Audible, because again, I struggle to find time to actually sit and read, and this way I can let it soak in my brain through some headphones. So, all right, love you guys. Have a happy Sunday. Mwah.